Welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. So Hashtag Alive is the latest zombie movie, but this time it's out of South Korea, and it's something a little bit different. Now, I myself personally am pretty much not the biggest fan of zombie movies or zombie series, but I will say some of my favorite zombie movies are out of South Korea, specifically Train to Busan and the whole Kingdom series. They were awesome. And so whenever I saw this, I was already interested because of those two other zombie movies. And so the general story here, we have this guy named Jun Woo, and he is a streaming gamer. And all of a sudden in the city, there's this mysterious infection. And obviously we have our zombie movie here. And in this case, he feels like he's the only one left around his complex because everybody else is turning into zombies or getting killed. But then he discovers that there is another person, and that other person is Kim Yoon-bin. And then their whole story is surrounding them surviving this infection. So that's kind of like the general story. So getting into the things that I did enjoy about this movie is the fact that this one takes a more solitary approach. So this is a very small story in terms of the whole zombie scale. Instead of it being this big story about what's happening in the city, in the world, it's primarily about a guy stuck in his apartment with all these zombies around him. And then later on he finds another person also stuck in their complex, and then they try to figure out a way to survive and escape. And so I did like that angle because in this case you're seeing more of the human effect on the individual. And there were moments in this particular film that, you know, was really emotionally touching, or maybe emotionally horrible. I guess you kind of have to look at it from different points of view. So there's a light side, but then there's also the darker side of that. So I did like that. And then the other thing that I did enjoy about this film is because it's set in this whole apartment complex, things are very claustrophobic. And so it adds this whole area of tension that you get throughout the film, which leads me to the whole zombie stuff. Now, this film is not so much about the zombies, but because everything is enclosed and you know there's zombies all around, it does heighten that sense of tension where you really never feel like you're comfortable. And so those are like the main things that I did enjoy about this film. For the best value in domain names, check out Namecheap, where you can get a domain for an entire year for less than $10, plus get WhoisGuard privacy protection for free. For more information, check out the affiliate link in the description area below. And so getting into the things that I didn't like about this movie, even though I did like the angle that they were taking by making more of it an individual story instead of this whole big thing, it would have been nice if the overall story was more than that. Because at the end of the day, it's just basically about these two people trying to escape this complex full of zombies. That's the whole story. And I wish there was just more other ways that they could have been told, or maybe branch that out a little bit further. Which leads me to the second thing that I didn't enjoy as much, and that is things aren't explained really well. You know, you don't really know where this infection or zombies came from, and then you don't know much about the main characters. You know, you see little hints of Jun Woo and Kim Yoo-bin, but you really don't know much about these characters, so that means you don't care about them as much. And then there's also other things that aren't explained really well, like electricity. You know, as you're watching the movie, they do kind of explain that near the end of the movie, but at the end of the day, things just don't make sense. And then the final thing I'd say could have been better with this movie is the overall pacing itself. There's a lot of slow moments. So things that occur in these moments don't really add much to the story. And I could see that they were trying to do that. Like basically this relationship between Jun Woo and Kim Yoo-bin. But then they kind of left that, you know. And it's things like that where why would you even add that if it didn't really add to anything, you know, just slow things down. And so that's overall my thoughts on Hashtag Alive. I wouldn't say it's one of the best zombie movies that I've seen, but then again, there's so many zombie movies out there. At least they were trying to do something different. So if you actually had any thoughts on this, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And if there's other zombie or horror sci-fi movies that you've seen that you have enjoyed, I'd like to know that as well. So as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe. Hey geeks, if you are a creative geek like me and you wanted to learn how to create content on YouTube and other places on the internet, then check out my Go Content Creators group, where you get access to additional videos and content for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part of it is, all of this is free. simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators Group. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.